Hey everybody, so I've got the tip of the week. I haven't done it in a couple of weeks, so it's actually tip of the bi-weekly, but we'll try to get back on track next week. So my tip of the week is something that comes out of my life, which always do. We learn and then we share, right? It's all about communication. And I guess it would be my 3 bases to a home run in communication and conversation, considering we're standing on a baseball field. Often my kids say to me, "Mom, would you just stop and listen to me?" Because we get so busy and we have our thoughts and our opinions and whatever, right? And we're just talking, not really even listening or hearing what the person is saying. And I find that a lot happens to me, and I do it a lot actually. So the first base to great communication is, I believe, listening without trying to think about what you're going to say next. And I know you've probably heard that before, but it's so key. Our brains are always moving and we're always trying to think of what we're going to say next. And really what that does is it stops us from actually fully listening and fully engaging with the person. And I think that comes out of a bit of a fear of like the quiet silence, or what will we say, what will I say next, that vulnerability of that moment. But I would encourage you, just engage with the vulnerability, even if your face goes a bit red and you feel a bit awkward, and that happens to me all the time. Just listen and then wait till they're finished before you start thinking about what you even want to say. So that's I guess base number 1. I don't play baseball. So we made it to base 1. If you can see, we were way back there a minute ago. And base 2 for good conversation and communication is simply don't interrupt. I hate it when people interrupt me. And I find people do that a lot when you're talking to them. They interrupt in little ways, whether it's saying yeah, or it's just, cutting in. And I think the reason why I notice it is because I struggle with it too, and I interrupt people, and I catch myself doing it, and then I go, "Oh, I'm sorry for interrupting you." Don't interrupt. Let them finish their whole sentence, and then when they're finished, hopefully you will, be able to engage in that moment in a way that you wanted to, because you're trying to think of what to say next, which you're not going to do anymore. But don't interrupt. Just let them finish their statement, because when we listen to people and we really intently listen, then it makes people feel valued. And I know that's a huge way that I feel valued, and it's a huge way that I feel devalued when people don't actually listen. So listen without interrupting is base number 2. So I'm getting a little out of breath. Haven't had a run in a little while. And I think I messed up the bases or something. There's 3 bases or 2. No, just joking, I know there's 3. So 3rd base, or to hit a home run in conversation and communication with people, I believe, is to leave some white space. And it kind of really touches on the other 2, but I think for me, white space means the little bit at the end of what someone says, that space that feels really uncomfortable. And it's kind of like number 1, like not trying to think about what you're going to say, and that leads into leaving that space, being vulnerable and comfortable and uncomfortable all at the same time, with sitting with someone and just hearing deeper than just what they're saying, hearing their heart, hearing the messages behind the communication. And so that's kind of what I think about white space. I just think about leaving some space in the communication. And that's hard for everybody because we all just want to get our thoughts across. And also, it's not even that we're trying to be pushy. A lot of times it's just that it feels vulnerable, right? Feels awkward to be in that place where you don't have anything to say. But I think if we can almost practice that, and maybe we say to the person, "Hey, I'm going to practice vulnerability and communication right now, and I'm just going to leave some white space in the conversation." And they might feel awkward at the same time you do, and then you both feel awkward, so that's okay. So those are my 3 points for communication, connection, conversation, and making a home run. So have a great day. Oh my gosh, I'm getting tired. Baseball's not for me.